This AEP is like any other. There's changes to the market, but it's how you adjust to those changes. Make sure you're talking ancillary with your clients. Make sure you're making those sales. It's not just about making money, it's about filling gaps in the coverage that they have. And if you're primarily selling Medicare Advantage, obviously we need to stay compliant. But if you're not talking about dental, vision, and hearing with your clients, you're not talking about heart attack and stroke, hospital indemnity, then you're missing out, because those are some of the biggest gaps that they have. You should be attaching well over 50%. And if you are selling them and you're not attaching over 50%, you got to step up your game. You should be more 60, 70% of your policies. Hey guys, Curt Graham here from Elite Insurance Partners. Wanted to put out another video here as AEP kicks off. And I want to do a little bit of a change of tone of what I've been seeing in the different insurance forums and the Facebook groups, from the news media, just, writ large. Okay. From what we're seeing from the news, if we look at it, article after article about major health insurers scaling back Medicare Advantage offerings in 2026, reducing Medicare Advantage options next year. Again, Medicare Advantage plans scaling back, coming out of Yahoo. Earlier this year, we did get the news from CMS that they were raising overall comp for Medicare Advantage plans on what agents could be paid by carriers. And that sounded good until we recently were, notified of the comp changes from some of the larger carriers in the country. One I'm thinking of is, I'm not going to name any names. You can look at, some past videos that we have. But they're basically not wanting people to roll people that are already enrolled in one of their plans to another one of their newer plans this year. And therefore, they're paying a modified comp. This is mainly a PPO plan that they're affecting these modified commissions with. And so we do see that. Now, if somebody's new enrolling in that plan, it's still full comp. So that's great. So we can still enroll those new people in that plan. They don't want anybody that's already on a plan from that company and rolling into this particular plan. So they're paying a modified reduced commission. Another carrier, they're saying, hey, we're kind of discouraging our PPO enrollments overall. So we do have a reduced comp on all PPO enrollments, anywhere from 60 to 90% of overall comp on both initial and renewals. And they're looking at it in a different way where, hey, if you're bringing somebody in new onto a PPO plan, we're going to pay you still a reduced comp, but better than nothing. And then if there's somebody that's already on one of our plans and you put them on a PPO plan, it's a reduced comp, but not full comp as well. And so that is a part of the story. Yes, we are seeing comp cuts, but no, it's not like this article that I'm seeing from Think Advisor where Medicare Advantage plans zero out agents. We're not cut out. We are still a part of the distribution. And that is it's just a fact. Okay. Agents are here to stay, extremely important to distribution, education of clients, helping people pick out these plans. Very complicated. It's not something that everybody can do on their own, and we provide a valuable asset there. Now, to talk about plans, how did they deal with plans and plan benefits this year? If we come over here to the Medicare Market Insights, they put out great stuff, Jared Strzok and his team. If I scroll on down, if we look at premium amounts, these are some pretty surprising statistics. Currently, 64% of MAPD market is on a zero premium plan. If everyone sticks with their same plan in 2026, 63% of the market will be on zero premium plans. So we're not seeing premiums rise across the board. We're actually seeing, in some cases, a lot of premium reductions. Now, with people that are on plans that have premiums that are increasing, it's about 3.8 million people that are going to see, on average, almost a $19 a month premium increase. I would suspect those people are going to be looking to shop their plans. That's not necessarily a small premium increase, and that's an average. So I'm sure in some areas it might be $50, $60, $70, $80 increase. Those are going to be people that are going to be shopping. So it's going to be something that we need to expect as agents. I know you're already starting to look at plans and everything, but as we start having those conversations, it's going to be coming up. Now, the good news is 5.3 million people are actually seeing their premiums decrease by almost $16. I look at that as an opportunity. What do we do with that $16? They're getting a little bit more money back in their pocket. Maybe other areas of the plan aren't going to be as strong. How do we supplement their plans? Okay. If we scroll on down, one of the places that we are seeing a major increase is in drug deductibles. Overall, in 2025, the weighted average was about $308 drug deductible. In 2026, we're looking at $417. That's a 35% increase. But even more is currently 31% of people on Medicare Advantage plans have a zero deductible. This was 60% in 2024. That's cut in half. Okay. And then if everybody sticks with their plan in 2026, only 14% of the market will be on zero deductibles. So that's going to be a big part of the conversations that we have with our members this year, is talking about drug deductibles. For people that are taking those tier 3, 4, 5 that are typically where you're going to see the deductibles, usually your brand name drugs, that's going to be a part of the conversation. Almost, well over $100 of extra cost for them this year. But if we keep going down, not all bad news. Once again, maximum out of pocket. The overall weighted max out of pocket was $56.88 in 2025. This year, it's only $59.50. That's not a huge increase, up only 5%. And frankly, most people aren't hitting their maximum out of pockets. This is a great opportunity of ways that we can help fill some of the gaps that these Medicare Advantage plans have. How do people typically hit a maximum out of pocket? It's not by going and seeing their primary care doctor or going to their specialist. It's by repeated in and out of stays in the hospital. It's by getting diagnosed with, cancer or some sort of medication that's typically an intravenous medication that goes towards your Part B drugs. Those are where people are usually going to be paying a 20% coinsurance. So what do we do about that? Well, if we look at the rest of the U.S. supplemental health insurance market, okay, what is the supplemental health insurance market? Hospital indemnity, cancer, heart attack, and stroke, dental, vision, and hearing plans, accident plans. It's a huge market. And if you're not participating as an agent or as an agency, you're missing out. Okay. Because there was almost $39 billion spent in 2024. 2025, $40 billion were spent. 2026, $42 billion are projected to be spent. By 2034, we're looking at $66 billion of premium. Now, in most cases, that's going to be commissionable premium, first year commissions in a lot of cases. There are some out year commissions as well. But if we look at it, by product, hospital indemnity was 21.9% of revenue in 2024. Brokers, 60% of the enrollments came from brokers. Another 30% came from agents. What's the difference between an agent and broker? According to this article, a broker is somebody that represents more than one insurance company. An agent is somebody that represents one insurance company. So 90-something% of all enrollments are coming from us, agents and brokers. Okay. By demographics, 65 and above dominated the market, 96.9% of the revenue in 2024. Okay. We look at it by the different types of plans. Critical illness was 15% of that. Accident, 10. Hospital indemnity, 20%. Work life, don't worry about that. We're talking about 33% was dental. If you're not selling a dental policy, if you're not selling cancer, heart attack, and strokes, hospital indemnity, or accident, you're missing out, and so are your clients. That's something important. It's not just about making money. It's about filling gaps in the coverage that they have. And if you're primarily selling Medicare Advantage, obviously we need to stay compliant. But if you're not talking about dental, vision, and hearing with your clients, you're not talking about heart attack and stroke, hospital indemnity, then you're missing out, because those are some of the biggest gaps that they have. Especially this year, we're seeing some cuts in a lot of those places. And so on the dental side, you should look for somewhere around $40, $50 a month of annual premium is going to be your average premium on a dental policy. That's somewhere in the range of about $450 to $500 a year. And depending on your comp, we're looking at anywhere from $150 to $250 of comp that an agent level commission can see. On cancer, heart attack, and stroke, those critical illness policies, you're probably going to be around $20, $25 a month in premium. You're going to be seeing around, call it $100 to $200 of commission at the agent level on those policies. Hospital indemnity, we're talking about a little bit more expensive, $35, $40 a month. And on those plans, probably about a 50% comp. You're looking at about $200 of commission that you can see. All of those are going to be filling those gaps on those modified comp that we're seeing from those big carriers. So definitely have this conversation with every one of your clients. You should be attaching well over 50%. I know we're attaching somewhere in the range of 70% on our core policies. We make these enrollments, okay? Now we do it compliantly. You need to be doing it compliantly. It's definitely a part of the sale. And so I just want you to, it's not the end of the world. No need to chicken little. It's not coming to an end. This AEP is like any other. There's changes to the market, but it's how you adjust to those changes. Make sure you're talking ancillary with your clients. Make sure you're making those sales. Have a great day. Have a great AEP. It's not over. Just think of it as an opportunity. If you haven't been selling ancillary products in the past, you need to be selling ancillary products. And if you are selling them and you're not attaching over 50%, you got to step up your game. You should be more 60, 70% of your policies, core policies, should be getting an ancillary policy. All right. Have a great AEP, and we'll talk soon.